What is up, guys? Friend01 here, and welcome to my live reaction and review for Detective Conan, Chapter 1021, Deceased Belongings. Alright, guys, so last week the chapter ended a little bit of a cliffhanger with Heiji actually trying to kiss Kazuha, who technically is Kid in disguise. Alright, this is pretty crazy. Conan has realized that the Kazuha that they've seen is Kid. Heiji, unfortunately, hasn't really noticed it yet, just because he's a little bit distracted with everything that's going on, with the fact that he wants to confess to Kazuha and all that kind of jazz. So, question is, has Kid captured the fairy lips, as he said, or is it still there and he's waiting for his opportunity to actually do it? Some pretty things, some stuff that's still kind of got to come out. We still don't actually know how Kid actually managed to steal it, or if he's even stolen it at all. But anyway, guys, let's get into this week's chapter. I'm looking forward to it. It's the series finale, so let's get straight into it, guys. I'm looking forward to it. So we got, and as always, guys, if you want to follow along, you know what you need to do. Bring it up on your pad, tablet, PC, whatever it is you read your manga along. Read it, follow along with me. Let's get into this week's chapter. We got Conan, we got the fairy lips there on the front page. Chapter file 1021, Deceased Belongings, series finale. Lips are the target. What outcome awaits Heiji and Kazuha, Kid? Right, let's go. Looks like if I want ya to shut ya up, I have no choice but to seal that silly mouth of yours. Wait. So Kid's freaking out. Wait. Heiji, who hasn't realized at all that Kazuha is actually Kid. So he's going in to kiss her. Kid's freaking out. Then you got bang, we got Ran and Conan coming in and what are you doing trying to make a racket like that? That'll be real bad. I was really tired and wanted to take a nap as soon as possible, so we hurried over. That was close. Who'd have thought that Hatsuri actually didn't notice that Kazuha was Kid in disguise? So Conan's like, seriously, what the fuck, man? Now that I think about it, that time on Ebisu Bridge in Osaka, he also turned into a joke of a detective when Kazuha got involved. Oh, this room is pretty spacious. I wouldn't even mind sleeping here until noon. After all, I'm the sleeping Kokoro. It's like, yeah. So he's there. He looks like Morty's going to have a nap on the couch. So we get still at the Suzuki Museum. We got everyone snoozing. Kids sneaking out. It's been 4 hours since then. So it should be about time. So it looks like Kid's trying to sneak back in. We can see the ice is slowly melting. That's what he's waiting for. Oh, it's melting pretty nicely. The ice block was 3 meters high, so I was quite worried. But it's been very hot lately. What's the matter? I think I dropped my contact lens somewhere inside the glass room. Is it okay if I look for it? Yes, it's fine. Forensics have already finished their job. Since the ice is melting, the floor is slippery, so be careful. Thank you. Where is it? So he's reaching in. Huh? The world's highest grade conch pearl. The fairy lip is mine. So looks like Kid hadn't stolen it. It was still there. He was waiting for it to melt. So now he's got it. So, huh? So something's going on. Things like a siren or an alarm. Everyone's there. All the police, Morty, Heiji, Conan, Suzuki, the inspector. Everybody's there. 100 tired birds of prey cannot compare to one osprey. What? Think of the tired bird of prey as a swallow, and of the osprey as a hawk. In other words, it means that 100 swallows cannot compare to one hawk. That may be so, but what's your point? So it's a Chinese idiom, so that's kind of like a little saying. You carried out a floral ice performance which caused many rings to appear inside the ice in order to confuse us. Then you opened a big tunnel in the middle of the ice and taped a note to it claiming your crime was successful. Your desire was clearly to make it look as if the real ring had been stolen. But my eyes cannot be deceived. Okay? Because even if there are 100 fake rings made by carving the ice and coloring it, they absolutely cannot be compared to the beauty of a real conch pearl. So you knew and predicted what I would do. Yes, I thought I may as well catch you in flagrant delicato while you were stealing the ring. Then you naturally noticed that I was disguised as this girl. Of course. Seeing how her personal pronoun changed from Atashi to Ichi, and you kept your knees bent and body slightly crouched. The rest of you were also cognizant of this, right? Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. But if you knew that much, you really should have retrieved the real ring. Okay, so he's got like a little bomb. It's like a flash bomb. Bang. Whoa. This time it's white smoke. So he's like, poof. Don't panic. It's just a smoke screen. If we clear out the smoke using the aircon, since the door is already sealed, he's trapped like a rat. So that's what they're all thinking. All right, the smoke is cleared. There was a trap door. He found a trap door. What? A secret passage? Since when? As I thought, that's his escape route. As you thought, did you see through it beforehand? Yes, I found it when I was searching the glass room. However, I purposely overlooked it. Since I have heard that Kaito Kid would return the gem to its rightful owner, if it wasn't the one he's been searching for. I see. So it will be returned to my place later, right? That's only if you are the rightful owner of the jewel. What? So that's coming from Heiji there. You said it before, right? That conch pearl was found inside a huge Akoya pearl oyster that was slumbering in Ago Bay in Mie Prefecture, and you were enchanted by the brilliance of its iridescence that is particular to pearls. Yeah, but the real conch pearl can only be extracted from the pink pearl oysters that inhabit the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea. Conch pearl has a rainbow-colored luster called Oriental effect. The flame pattern on its surface, which makes a beautiful carved line, is its unique characteristic. Which means, alright, so they figured out this guy's bullshitting. The real owner of that jewel is not you, but rather that woman who cried out, my grandmother got it on his travels from a multi-millionaire in the Caribbean. Then I will carefully listen to your story afterwards. So you notice as well that the jewel broker is suspicious. Yeah, regarding this one, I knew immediately that he's a fake. What do you mean by regarding this one? I love a Conan's question. Heiji, you didn't notice, did ya? That kid was disguised to be idiot. I noticed it immediately, but I decided to let it play out. Then tell me, what was the difference then? That seaweed? There was no seaweed stuck on fake Kazuha's teeth. So there was seaweed after all. More importantly, where could that thief have gone? Since it seems like he was suspicious of the jewel's possessor, and thus hastened his crime. Right now, he's probably... Alright, so it looks like we're going to the lady. I'm sorry, Grandma. The ring full of memories that you got from Grandpa. I wanted to let you take it to heaven with you, but I couldn't get it back. I would have liked to hear more stories about that pink pearl when you were still alive. It's been pretty much half a century since that multi-millionaire from the Caribbean made his world cruise. His pregnant wife went into labor and panicked. At that time, your grandfather, who was a surgeon, happened to have boarded the same ship. And despite the fact that it was not his specialty, he used his medical knowledge to help her safely give birth. To express his gratitude, the multi-millionaire gave your grandfather the world's highest grade conch pearl, one of the big jewels. Okay, so that's Kid, the fairy's lip, right? Yamamoto Moe-san, Kaito Kid, the multi-millionaire's son who was born there on that ship, wrote the detailed story on his blog in Spanish. That jewel broker probably read the story and thought of swindling the jewel from you. Too bad. It seems that this jewel isn't the one I'm looking for. Might I trouble you to use this to accentuate your revered grandmother's makeup on her boat trip to the next world? Yes, of course. So he's giving it back to her. What? A parcel was found in Date-san's locker? Alright, so we're going back to this locker thingy that the inspector Morofushi actually received. Never addressed to an inspector from the prefectural police of Nagano. Yeah, to be exact, inside a parcel that was delivered to Date-san. There was an envelope with a memo asking for it to be sent to that inspector. Ever since he died in a traffic accident a year ago, it's been lying there untouched. Well, there's also the fact that the writing on the memo was smudged and hard to read. So the name of the sender who sent it to Date-san was also smudged. There was none. See? There's only this circle mark here. Okay? But to think that it was left in that locker and ignored for a whole year, you'd want to ignore it too, seeing how saying how it was all messy and full of things that ought to be just thrown away, like pictures from his police academy days and stuff. Huh? You don't have fond memories of your time at the police academy? How could I? Seeing how those guys who were 1 year ahead of me. Okay. Dates and his friends, they kept making mischief, which caused the rules to be unbelievably strict for our year. Okay. Apparently, Matsuda-kun was also one of them. Now that you mention it, why is that even though Date-san and Matsuda-san were in the same year, you addressed Matsuda-san as kun? Because contrary to Date-san, I was Matsuda-kun's senior as a detective. Got a problem? No. So this is the envelope. Can you confirm that this is addressed to you? Indeed. That should be the case. Then please check the contents. Alright. So it looks like that's all dealt with. I'll now move on to Morofushi and this infamous letter that we heard about a few chapters ago. So Morofushi's opening the letter. This is a smartphone with a hole in the middle. It's true, there's a hole. What's with the hole? Dark spots around the hole. And on its reverse side, a peculiar letter H made to look like scratch marks. Okay. Life beckons death. Each life has its own duration. So we've got a translation note. Quote attributed to Zhou Yu, military general and strategist during the Three Kingdom period. Okay? Huh? People cannot avoid death. It is destiny that ends a short life. Those are the words of a Chinese strategist. This is my little brother's smartphone. He said that he stopped being a police officer, but the package being sent here means he was probably assigned to the Public Safety Bureau and lost his life somewhere when he was in the middle of an infiltration mission. Since this hole is most likely from a bullet and the black stains are blood stains. Wait a second. I think I might know who this is. Right? Hiromitsu? Thank you very much for today. Don't mention it. I'll let you know if I find out who the sender is. Alright. Takai Ni-chan. I made a friend in Tokyo. His nickname is Zero. Isn't that cool? I know who that is. I know exactly who that is, but I'm going to get into that in the review. But anyway, that's the end of the chapter. The deceased's belongings conveyed a message from Hiromitsu. Alright guys, so just hang on a second. I'm going to get into who that guy is in the review. So hang on a second, we'll jump straight into the review. Alright guys, so chapter 1021, Deceased Belongings. This was a pretty solid chapter. The majority of this chapter was based on the crime. I was based on Kid and kind of figuring out that the jeweler wasn't the actual owner and he was just trying to scam the conch pearl away from the employee, who that conch pearl actually belonged to her grandma, and she wanted to give it to her grandma who had passed away. So Kid had realized that. Everyone else had pretty much figured all that out, and it was just pretty much wrapping all that up, as well as wrapping up everything with Kid, Heiji, and Conan as well. So we pick up with Heiji trying to kiss Kazuha, i.e. Kid, Kid freaking out, and eventually Ran kind of bursting just before it all happens, and eventually they all decide to take a nap. Kid sneaks out and manages to steal the fairy's lip. But before getting away, basically setting off an alarm that Motofushi had set up, basically saying to him, you might have, we played it off as that we give it up, but we kind of knew it was still there. So anyway, Kid ends up drawing a smoke screen using a trap door to escape, getting away with the fairy's lip. After that, we do find out basically how they figured out that the jewel broker was basically a fake. He was faking it. He didn't believe it because the actual conch pearl that you would find actually comes from the Caribbean and not actually in Japan. You cannot find that type of pearl in the Japan waters. You can find other type of pearls, but not a conch pearl. A conch pearl is found in the Caribbean, Mexico area. So that kind of explains how they kind of figured out that he was lying and he was full of crap. Anyway, so they end up I think they do arrest him, but we don't really see that or anything like that. Anyway, we then basically move on to Motofushi, and this is some of the more interesting stuff that we were looking forward to that we kind of forgot about over these last few weeks, which was the original letter that Inspector Motofushi received. And it's from his younger brother. Who is his younger brother? I know who his younger brother is. He is Bourbon's partner within the BO, the one that Akai killed. All right. So as we know, Bourbon's part of a security task force or the National, I believe it's the National Bureau. Give me a second. I'm just going to double check that. Where is it? Okay, it says here, it's my little brother's smartphone. Stop believing that means means he was probably assigned to the Public Safety Bureau, as is Amuro or Bourbon. They were partners. They had infiltrated the BO. Amuro obviously now having a name, Bourbon. I don't quite remember Motofushi's brother's name, but he actually had a name as well, and Akai is the one who killed him. So that's kind of why Bourbon is after Akai, was after Akai for so many years. So that's who he is. That's the tie-in. So now it's seeming like things are starting to happen now. The investigations into the actual black organization are seemingly going to start, and it actually has quite a personal connection to Motofushi. So I believe what Gosho is doing here is setting up Motofushi, who's an insanely good detective, very good a strategist as well, setting up to get him pulled in to help Conan, Heiji, and everybody else in bringing down the BO. So I think that's what's going down at the moment. That's the whole idea of why this letter is so important and so relevant, right? Because obviously within the letter, we saw a smartphone with a hole straight through it with a H on the back. We also got pictures of him from his police school days, police academy days. And basically that's where the confirmation of who he is actually on the very last page, where he says, Takagi Nichan, I made a friend in Tokyo. His nickname is Zero. Isn't that cool? And we see it's a young Bourbon, the young armorer. So that shows you that these two grew up together, went to the bureau together, and then infiltrated the BO together, and then went from there. So it's showing who he is and everything. I think that was done very, very well. But overall, guys, for this chapter, that was a pretty big revelation right there, like a pretty massive revelation. We're starting to find out a bit more about this guy that we didn't really know too much about. You know, the guy who Akai actually killed while he was infiltrating the BO. Right, so it's some pretty deep stuff there. So overall, guys, for this chapter, the art was solid. We got good progression. We finished the story. The main story, we got another kind of tease, cliffhanger, a reveal, so to speak, with Inspector Morifushi's younger brother being basically Bourbon's partner within the BO, as well as with the Bureau. And Morifushi seemingly now going to be getting pulled in to the BO investigation. I think that's a very good move. Having another strategist, really great detective on hand as well. That's going to be a very good move. I think Gosho's done it really well there. So, overall, guys, for this chapter, I'm going to give it 4 stars. Brilliant chapter. Absolutely love this chapter. That reveal was brilliant. Nicely done. And I love that it was left to the very last panel to, it was hinted at who it could be. And then from the final panel, the confirmation of who it is. That was really well done. I really enjoyed that. But anyway, guys, that is all for me. Let me know in that comment section below what you guys think. Did you like it? Didn't like it? All that kind of jazz. And as always, guys, I'm Free01. You guys are awesome. And I'll catch you guys next time with another live reaction and review. Peace. Run away!